Hello, lovers. It's always a beautiful day out here, as you can tell. How you are doing? I am Grace, and you're welcome to this very exciting episode of Finding Love. Very, very exciting, and you're welcome. Now, Finding Love is a relationship and marriage show that instills the right foundation for marriage, with the knowledge that marriage is God's idea. Now, it is a useful insight for anyone who is ready for the journey of marriage and desires to do the way the Creator has designed it, because marriage is God's idea. Now, when He created Adam, He said, "It is not good for man to be alone. Let us make him a help meet for him." Then He created Eve from Adam's rib and brought Eve to Adam. So God was really intentional. He knew what He wanted, marriage, God's idea. On this note, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe right now and click the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will get a prompt. And then be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and share it so that you do not enjoy it alone. Okay, now on our previous episode of Finding Love, we started a series. Well, not really a series, because I was going to talk about it all the same, but I felt it was too long. So we started a topic called how to address character flaws in your partner. So today we'll be talking about actually how to, we talked about the guidelines. I addressed the guidelines, be being polite, it's not about what you say but what you not about how you say but what you say. And we talked about prayers. That was what we ended our notes on, praying before you approach your partner. Now today we're focusing on how to, the practical guide to, addressing these character flaws in your partner. Number one way to address character flaw in your partner is to use positive reinforcement. So number one, use positive reinforcement. Now after you've prayed and you're sure that it's the right thing to do, that's to address the flaw and the right time and the right mood, then you start by being kind. Okay, thank them for the things that they do that you appreciate. Do not just go at them at, "Oh, I don't like this thing that you're doing, I don't like this thing about you." They will definitely feel attacked and you might not get the result that you're desiring. Okay, so start by thanking them for the things that they do that you like, and then before you now tell them exactly what it is that you're not comfortable with that might be affecting the relationship. And be sure to talk about how you feel about it. Communicating your feeling is really, really important. So tell them how you feel about it, straight to the point about how you feel and how it might be affecting the relationship. Okay, so for instance, if you have a partner who probably doesn't know how to communicate your love language, or maybe he's not really good at, or she is not really good at showing affection. Now thank them for the ones that they're doing, and then tell them, "Oh, okay, maybe your love language is maybe physical touch or quality time, for instance." Now if they make an effort to spend quality time with you, maybe fix a date and just spend time with you, thank them for making an effort. Okay, thank them for efforts that they make to what's the word now, to show you that whatever it is that you address is being worked on. So number one, say it nicely. Number two, thank them first for the things that they're doing that you like. Number three, thank them for listening to you, for even paying audience to you. And then number four, thank them as soon as you begin to see them making efforts to work on these flaws that you have mentioned. Okay, so that's positive reinforcement. Number two, take it a step further to give them a reward. Now it might sound silly to say, "Oh, if someone behaves well, give them a reward." I mean, they're supposed to behave well anyway. No, but when you're trying to see a positive result, the way you handle it will determine the result you get. So reward them, show them that positive behavior brings about positive rewards. Okay, so if someone who you've addressed begins to show signs that they're working on what you addressed, you can give them a peck on the cheek, you can give them a hug, you can buy them a gift that they like, just to show them that there's always a reward for good behavior. Now for instance, you have someone who is somewhat disorganized, they do not know how to plan things ahead. If you address it with them and you see that they start to make plans, you can actually Reward them, give them a gift. Oh, take for planning this thing, or for doing this, for organizing something that you should have organized. It sounds funny, but it's true. When people feel encouraged for doing the right thing, they want to do it and do it again and do it again. So take a step further to reward them for doing something that you think that they did that you like. Now, number 3, be the change you want to see. Now, sometimes we might just be the ones fueling a particular character flaw or bad habit that a partner might have without even realizing it. Okay, so if you're looking to see changes in this partner's behavior after you have addressed it, if you're fueling it in any way, play your own part to make sure that you no longer fuel it. For instance, if you have a partner who is somewhat wasteful with their financial resources, now if they make an effort to buy things for you that you feel might be too expensive or that are not necessary, that are somewhat wasteful, you can actually say, oh, you know what, I'll pass for these things, don't worry, you can save your money, if you feel that it is not necessary. But you do not have the right to say, oh, don't buy so and so thing for yourself, that's for themselves, if they want to buy something for themselves. Okay, so they don't feel like you are trying to control their financial resources. But if they're buying it for you, just to be a good example, just to exemplify, the correction or the character flaw that you have mentioned, oh, don't worry, you just save your money, or I don't think it's necessary for us to put money in this thing. Let us not be wasteful, don't worry about me, I'll pass. Doing that thing, subsequently would send a strong message to them that, what, maybe they can actually put an end to being financially wasteful. Okay, so like I said, exemplify what you're trying, be the change you want to see, by setting the example, about being an example or being the change you want to see. Now, I shared one example or a personal example on one of my previous episodes, but let me share it again here because it goes with what I've been talking about. Now, I went on a date with a guy. He invited me out on a date some time ago, long before I got married, and we came for the date, and then he didn't just have time. He was on his phone all through the date, receiving calls, making calls. He tell me, excuse me please, my mom calling, excuse me, I want to go and check my phone, check downstairs, my phone is not doing well, my network is this and that. He didn't even have time to even as much as sit down and eat or even ask me, how are you? So, and it really, really annoyed me because I felt, why did he invite me out to waste my time? So in my head, I was thinking of the right way to let him know that, next time, or this thing you did is not right. So when he was seeing me off to my car, a friend of mine that really loves to gist called me. So I said, perfect opportunity. So I picked the call and I made sure to speak very loud so that the guy that was seeing me off to my car would hear. I said, let me say the guy's name is maybe Femi. Hello Femi, sorry, I can't really talk right now, I'm on a date. It would be rude of me to be on a call when I am on a date. Okay, when I get home, I'll call you. Now, that was me setting an example for him. Okay, so even if he didn't know before that, it's not right to go out on a date with someone and then just get busy with your phone, at least from what I did, not picking the other person's call to start gisting and saying, it's not right, he learned from it. Okay, so that's a personal example. Now, number 4, offer to assist them in any way that you can. Now, after you have talked about this character flaw, address the issue with them, do not round up without saying, is there any way that I can be of help to you? Now, this will show genuinely that it's about the good of the relationship and that you mean well, and that it's not really about attacking them, but you want, them to be a better version of themselves, and that you're there to support them. Okay, so just ask them, is there a way that I can be of help to you, to see that, this thing, so and so thing is better, Now, for example, like the person who doesn't know how to organize things, maybe he has a library that the books are scattered all over the place. You can ask, okay, should I help you arrange your library? Or if they have like meetings and they do not know how to organize themselves, maybe they keep having to postpone dates with you, or you can ask them, tell me your plan for the week, let me help you do like a draw up like a schedule on your phone so that you can easily just look at your phone, offer to be of help. Now, remember, please don't tell my husband what I want to say. Before we got married, when I used to visit a lot, I entered his home library, his office, and the books were all over the place because I love reading. If I want to read a book on relationship, I'll have to go through all the racks. I want to check a Christian book, I have to go through all the racks. So one day, when I knew he wasn't going to be around, I came to the house, closed, locked his office, got a paper sellotape, taped all the racks, then started to bring out books, arranged, relationship books, this book, that book, everything was in order. By the time he came back, he could not recognize, his library. You see that men need us very well. Okay, so you can offer to be of help, assist them in any way that you can. Or for example, someone that has a poor personal hygiene. I mean, this is something that I would love to take my time to talk about, but let me just go through it briefly. If you know someone that has a poor personal hygiene, maybe they're already that way before you started dating them, or you didn't notice it early enough, or you just noticed, or maybe because they've gotten too comfortable with you, they no longer pay attention to how they look. You can actually step in a very polite, because it's only your friend that can tell you that your mouth is smelling or that your body is smelling, in a very polite and loving way. You can ask them, what toothpaste do you use? And if you can buy them the right toothpaste, if you can afford it, buy it. You can ask them, what perfume do you use? And there's a way to address someone that has some form of body odor or mouth odor, so that you do not reduce their self-esteem. You can actually start by saying, what product do you use? Maybe toothpaste or something. They tell you, say, maybe your toothpaste might not be so good, I don't know, but I've been perceiving a certain odor. I don't think it's you. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the toothpaste. Maybe I can buy you the type I'm using. Or if it's a body odor, what's the name of your perfume? I don't think it's sitting right on your skin or whatever. But never ever point at them and say, you are smelling, or your body is smelling, or your personal hygiene is poor. No. First, address it like it's the product that's the issue, or maybe it's the body cream you're using. Maybe it's giving off, maybe it's not going with your skin or whatever. Maybe it's the product, maybe it's the perfume, maybe it's the toothpaste. You can suggest to them that if you can afford it, can I buy you the type I'm using? Maybe you just try it. Now, if for any reason it is them, maybe they're not putting any effort, the fact that you have addressed it in that very kind and loving way, suggesting to help them, when they go back, even if you buy them toothpaste or you buy them perfume or not, they will check themselves again. Okay, maybe they need to brush harder. It's just a subtle way of communicating to them that, you need to work on your personal hygiene. And trust me, it will be more effective than saying you are smelling, or maybe you need to brush better and things like that. So like I said before, it's not about what you say, but how you say it. Number 5 and the last, vicarious punishment or vicarious reward. Now, I learned this name from my husband, even though I was already practicing it before I found out what the name was. They said it's vicarious punishment. They said, so let us now, vicarious punishment is or reward is when you actually address somebody else as opposed to addressing the person involved. So for instance, if you have a partner, let me just say, who shouts a lot, and you want to address the issue with them, you can start by talking about somebody else that does it. So for instance, you say, maybe Captain America likes shouting. I don't like people shouting. It gets me tensed up, and I really do not like it. Now you already know that your partner is guilty of always shouting. A wise partner of yours will get the message. So it's a very intelligent way. That's why I put it at the last. It's a very intelligent way of correcting your partner. Address somebody else in front of them, or talk about somebody else that is guilty of what they are guilty of, so that they can at least learn from what you're saying. And I got this method from the Bible, the story of David and Nathan. Now let me share the story before I read from here, because it's just it's very long, verse 1 to 7, so you can go and read it. 2 Samuel 12, 1 to 7. I'm going to only read 7 before I tell the story. Nathan said to David, "Thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul." And David misbehaved. Now why did he say thou art the man? Now David did something really bad. he killed he slept with someone's wife when the man went for war. He slept with his wife and then killed the man. Okay, then God was not happy with him and sent Nathan to him. Now Nathan, as per David was a king, that was the wisest and the most intelligent way to approach him. He said, oh, a certain man did so and so thing, what would you say we should do to that person? And David was angry and said, oh, let us punish him, the man deserves to die. He now said, King David, now it is you. Okay, so that's a very intelligent way of addressing an issue with somebody. You can start by telling them about somebody else, someone else that does exactly the same thing that they do, or you can share like a story of something that's happened before and say, oh, let me even look for a personal example. Is there any personal example? Maybe not today, but look for something that they do that someone else has done to you. When you want to address it, talk about the other person, so that if it's something they're guilty of, they will learn and say, oh, okay, that means this thing that I do, this guy or this lady does not like it, so maybe I have to put an end to it. Okay, so now that you have heard all the ways to address a character flaw, I'd like for this episode to be more engaging. If you have other ideas, you can suggest them on my comment section. Tell me ways that one can address character flaws in a partner. You can suggest it, and then someone else can learn from it. Okay, now I recently started a prayer group for anyone who is interested in corporate prayer. Now, if you're a single lady and a single guy believing God for a life partner, please indicate on WhatsApp via the number right here saying, I am interested in the prayer group. Do not just say hi. If you say hi, then it doesn't make any meaning to me. But if you say, hi, I saw or I watched your video and you said so and so, I am interested in joining the prayer group, then I'll add you on. Now, so if you are a lady who is believing God for a life partner, or a guy, please indicate. If you are married and you want to pray for your spouse and for your purpose in marriage, you can indicate. Or if you're a parent and you want to pray for your children's future, academics, for their future spouse and spouses, you can indicate your interest in joining the prayer group. Alright guys, I remain Grace Renner. Do not forget to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, share it if you so that you will not be the only one enjoying. You need to share things like this so that people can enjoy what you're enjoying, and then subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.